At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The following audio contains the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optavia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join Optavia, but please note they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optavia. Additionally, this audio may contain income or earning representations of some independent Optavia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optavia is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optavia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optavia coaches in the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optavia coaches operating in the US, please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of US coaches under the US Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optavia coaches operating in the US under the US Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in Health, the Optavia team.
All right, well, let's get started. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We are so excited to bring to you some stories of transformation and to really just share with you what's possible tonight on this trilogy presentation. I would love to just introduce myself. My name is Shantelle Flake, and I have been an Optavia coach for 8 years now. And just a little bit about me and my story. I started as a fitness instructor, and I felt like that was a huge blessing for me, and I was able to help people. And it wasn't until I saw a friend of mine that was also helping other people, but through Optavia. And she introduced me into this community, and she shared with me some of the tools that she was using to help other people around her. And I thought, this would be an amazing addition to what I do already in helping people. And I really could learn a lot myself. And it's been an amazing journey over the past 8 years, as I have felt like it has blessed my life and also blessed a lot of others. And really seeing that whole transformation happen with people. The first time I went to an event by my coach, she shared with me, they shared with me some of the statistics of where we are as a nation. And it was quite astounding. And it hasn't gotten much better 8 years later, to be quite honest. Worldwide, we have nearly tripled with obesity. Kind of crazy. And it doesn't just stop with our physical health. It actually has extended to our mind, body, and finances. And it says here that a third of people, that money is a major source of conflict in the relationship. So a third. And then 2/3 of people say that they're stressed over finances. So when I learned these things, as I was looking into Optavia, and being able to help people, I knew that this was the right industry. This was the right place. This was where I could really make a difference. And hearing these statistics, it wasn't like it came to life for me. It wasn't just, when I go out, those are the strangers around me. These are my friends. These are my family. This is my posterity. And the numbers are not looking good in the future. And so I knew that I could make a difference. Little old me could make a difference. And this is actually when I decided to become a coach and to be able to help people. And we have the solution. It's Optavia, the lifelong transformation, one healthy at a time. It's a very unique community of people that we truly believe in that lifelong transformation. Let's talk a little bit about our company. We've been around for 40 years now, and we have partnered with, we are partners with one of the most trustworthy companies in America. And as you can see, we actually got this award that by Forbes. So it's amazing. We are also publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and we're based in Baltimore, but we are also expanding worldwide. And something that we have in common is that we really, truly care, that we really want this transformation for people. Dr. A here on the right, if you have not met him, you need to. He is an amazing world changer. And he graduated first in his class and went on to be the chairman of one of the top hospitals in America. So he was a very, very successful physician, and he decided to redirect his focus and to go into more of the preventative arena. And that's where he was a co-founder of Optavia and decided to focus more on this lifestyle management and healthy habits. And now, to date, over 1 million lives have been impacted. So I actually want to share one of those 1 million lives that have been impacted. My friend Lori Muse, I would love for her to share just a little bit about her story and how she has decided to pay it forward.
Thanks, Shantelle. I really am so honored to be able to come on and share my story and to tell a little bit about the components that have made such a difference in my life. So my story really is about becoming me. And I know that that sounds really silly, but up to that point in my life, I was really just living a reactive life. I was putting out fires as they started, just rolling with the punches, and life was just happening to me. I really wasn't creating anything. I was, like I said, just reacting. And I just didn't see that it was possible for my life to be anything other than that. My whole life, I've battled obesity. I remember as a really small child thinking that I was the biggest kid in my class. And my self-esteem and my confidence took a hit because of that. So food became a friend to me at a really early age. It was there for me when I wanted to celebrate. It was my friend when I felt lonely. It was there to comfort me. And two, a lot of my favorite family memories were surrounded with food. That's how our family celebrated. And, you know, the nice thing in my mind at the time was that food didn't judge me. It didn't require anything of me. So as a result of me making food a friend, I really struggled with being overweight for my entire life. Well, by the time I got to college, I was so tired of being just the overweight friend. I was tired of just trying to blend into the background, to disappear, to be invisible. And I was uncomfortable in my own skin. I wasn't living life on my terms. I was living with what was comfortable. So at the time I joined a really popular weight loss center, and I did lose a lot of weight, but nobody ever talked to me about what got me to that point. My emotions were never addressed. Nobody ever found out what my habits were. And so nothing had really changed on the inside. And when I got down to a good, healthy weight, I just didn't know what to do. I was terrified of this new body because in my mind, I was still the overweight girl. And I didn't know how I was going to maintain it. I didn't know how to deal with the new attention. And because of that, you know, my old habits started to creep in. I got married. I lost a baby. I lost two really close relatives. And so because nothing had changed in my thinking, I went back to those same old habits, to that food friend, and packed the weight back on. So by the time I had my third baby, I was at the heaviest weight I had ever been. And I was devastated, but at the same time, I didn't know what to do. I kind of got to the point where I thought, well, this is just what happens to moms. Moms give up everything, including their health, for their families, and I'm just going to have to make friends with this weight on my body. This is just how it's always going to be. Nothing's going to change. And I think if I was really honest with myself back then, it was more of, I just didn't feel like I was worth the time and the effort or the attention to actually take care of my body. And so nothing really changed. I didn't have the energy to do fun things with my kids. I wasn't being the mom that I wanted to be. And, you know, that was probably my biggest motivation. So when a friend of mine came to me and wanted to share this program with me, boy, it was really life-changing. And I want to tell the rest of my story as I share these components that really have made such a difference in my life. So the first component is that everyone gets a health coach. I am so grateful for my coach. She was really brave to approach me and to talk to me and spend 3 days with me, just peppering her with question after question after question. And really what made all the difference is that she believed in me until I could believe in myself. She just reminded me of what my goals are when I started to doubt myself. And because of her caring and her kindness, I was inspired to become a coach just 2 weeks into my journey, which was something that never would have crossed my mind up to that point. But because I chose that, it's been such an incredible blessing in the life of myself and my family. The second component is the Habits of Health Transformation System that we talked a little bit about earlier. And this component is what was missing for me in my college years. I wasn't aware that I had created habits. Like I said, I was just reacting to life. And it wasn't even in my mind that I could change the way I thought, that I could have a different relationship with food, that I could create something better. And because of this education that I gained through this program, I feel really confident now that I can maintain what I've created and go further with my health. So I lost 70 pounds and I've been able to keep it off because of the tools that I've learned in this transformation system. And that was not something that I ever thought was possible for myself until this program. The third component really is my favorite. If I was going to choose, it's the community, especially since I became a coach myself. There is not a group of people that I have ever come in contact with that have the integrity that Optavia coaches and clients have. I love when we get together as a group. We support each other, we build each other up. There's no competition. It's really so much, how can we help each other become our very best versions of ourselves? And the Habits of Health calls that we just finished, those are like a shot in the arm to me. Every week to get on there and just to have that boost of, okay, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I can go forward this next week and continue on. The last component is our nutrition plans. And I love that there is a plan for just about everybody. If you're a heavy exerciser, if you're a nursing mom, if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, but you just want to learn how to eat healthy, there is a plan for all of those things and then some. All of our plans are based on eating 6 small meals a day, balancing your blood sugar. And what I loved was that it was so simple. So our most popular plan, the 5-in-1 plan, you just get to start by practicing with 1 meal, which is so simple to do. My whole family got to eat something healthy together. We sat down at the table together. My family was learning what a healthy meal looked like. And then those other 5 meals throughout the day, I didn't have to think about it. They're done for me. I didn't have to count my macros or my calories or keep everything plugged in. And as a busy mom, that really was such a helpful tool for me. And now I still use those feelings as a really quick and convenient way to fuel my body on the go and to make sure that I'm getting what I need. So I'm so grateful for this program. I'm so grateful as both a client and especially as a coach for the way that it's blessed my family and myself. My life is completely different. I was talking to my daughter who is serving a mission for our church today, and I asked her, what are some things that you've noticed about our family since Optavia came in? And she said, oh, Mom, I'm so glad that you found it. We're a better family. We listen to each other. We are better talking to each other. We do things together. Our family is so much happier. And it really is so true. Coaching has blessed my life tremendously. And I'm so grateful that I get to be a part of this with other people. So I'm just so thankful. And Shantelle, thank you for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Lori, for sharing your heart. That is amazing. And you know, when we say lifelong transformation, how it's kind of a tagline of what we have underneath the Optavia symbol, you hear stories like this and it's for real. These are real inspiring stories. And out of the mouth of babes, like your daughter sharing that, that is just beautiful. I love that. And that is what we do here is as a coach, we really specifically focus on optimal health, meaning our healthy mind, our healthy body, and our healthy finances. So as you're here tonight, I hope you're reflecting on each of these areas of kind of where you are and where you're wanting to go and what vision you have for each of these areas. I look back and think about what my life was like 8 years ago before I started working on these to now. And I have to agree with Laurie, it is a completely different transformation. And this is the vehicle that has helped me in all of those areas. I want to introduce to you another inspiring story. So get ready for this one. And this picture is gonna blow your mind right here. The amazing mom of the year, in my mind, Corinne Hoyt. I am so excited for her to share her story.
Man, that's a big title, Mama of the Year. Sheesh. Oh my gosh, you guys, this has been so amazing tonight. Like, I just feel so blessed and so honored to be a part of this. Just to paint you a little picture of where I came from before Optavia. I actually have been with Optavia 6 years now. I just started my 7th year, and I was reflecting back to 7 years ago, and I was a mom to just 5 small kids at the time, 5 kids under the age of 7. I was tired. I was not feeling very good about myself as a person. I was actually going to school full time as well. And I was just kind of looking for something to make me feel better. I wanted to lose some weight, and found this program, got started, and was absolutely amazed by the results that I got. I did lose a little bit of baby weight. I lost 20 pounds, and which felt awesome. You guys, that just feels awesome, right? To be able to lose that weight. But what was so much more amazing to me was that there was just something different about this program. And I think everyone who has come in contact with anybody that has to do with this program, you can tell that there's something different. There's something special about it. And I remember thinking, what makes this program so different? And I had never really tried anything in the past. In fact, I didn't even really know what being healthy really was or meant, or like what the definition of that was. And so there were so many different aspects of it that really just drew me into it. And so I actually was not the typical client where you kind of wait for your coach to like offer coaching to you or say, hey, you'd be a pretty good coach or something like that. Like a week or two into my own program, I was like asking my coach all these questions. I was like, okay, you need to tell me more about this. I need to get in on this. Whatever this is, I need to be a part of it. Because just being a client and being a part of this community and having results just within that first week or two, I was just feeling amazing. And I was being drawn to whatever the energy was that was coming from this program and this community. And so I actually became a coach like a month later or something like that. So I've actually been coaching for 7 years now too. And it has been such an amazing ride and such a huge transformation. And like I said, I was going to school full time, 5 small kids. We were on food stamps. We were on Medicaid. I think total with 5 kids, we were making less than $20,000 a year. And I remember telling my dad that, and he was like, that is like poverty level, Corinne. And I'm like, I know. Like, I don't even know like how we survived, but we did. And when I joined this program, it all went on a credit card because it was just one of those times where I was just like, it is worth it to me to start taking care of myself so I can start taking care of these kids. And I wanted to be able to teach them more about health. And so what better way to do that than to start learning myself and to start paying it forward and start teaching other people. And so that's what I kind of like to think of coaching as, is kind of like that 5th component. And I like to call it paying it forward. And so today we're just going to talk a little bit about some of those benefits that come from being a health coach. So they talk a lot about, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the phrase, you are like the top 5 people that you spend the most time with. So I want you to take a minute and just think about that. I remember the first time I heard that, and that kind of blew my mind. I was like, how is this looking for me? Oh my word. And I will be completely honest and transparent. It was not looking good. So I was able to lose the weight and I was able to have that success. But I knew for sure that if I didn't start hanging out with more people that were healthier and who had that as a value and a goal for themselves, I was not going to be able to maintain that healthy lifestyle. And so that was actually one reason I became a coach, was because I needed that accountability and I needed that community and support just for myself. And you guys, that has been like a huge, huge part of it. If you were on our Habits of Health call earlier today, you got a little taste of our community time, and it is amazing. And now when you get to choose to be a coach, you're like taking that community to the next level. It is amazing to be a part of it. So one of the other things that I've loved about this is just being able to learn more about health in general. You guys, my bachelor's degree is in marriage and family studies. It was not about health and nutrition or exercise or anything like that. And so everything that I know now, 7 years later, is everything that I've learned along the way of being able to help my own clients. And so if you have that question about whether you have to know everything to be a coach, the answer is absolutely not. You learn as you go. Okay. And if you've ever had to teach anybody anything or help anybody with any sort of task or concept or anything, who often ends up learning more? The teacher, not just the student. The teacher ends up learning more, and it just really ingrains it so much more into your brain. And then another benefit of coaching is the financial aspect of this. And so just like Shantelle mentioned earlier, within Optavia, we have this trilogy of health with healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And if you think of it like a three-legged stool, if one of those areas is out of whack, it's going to affect the other two. Now, this was a new concept for me. And like I said, I came into this with our finances not so healthy. And so being a stay-at-home mom at the time, I was like, we need more money. How can I get more money without having to put all 5 kids into daycare and spend my whole paycheck on daycare? And so now we are at the point, like I said, just started my 7th year, and I've actually had 2 babies since I started 7 years ago. And so now 7 kids. My kids are very active. They're very involved. We have a lot of competitive athletes, I think is the right term, music lessons, all of these things that I know, I've actually done the math, that would not be possible if it were not for coaching. And it has completely transformed our lives. And it's not just a matter of, can we afford to do that? It's, do you want to do this? Do you want to try this? Those are the questions that I get to ask my kids. And we do teach them the value of money and to work hard, but I'm so grateful that I can help provide those opportunities for them. So let me tell you a little bit about how it works to be a coach. So one thing that I love is that coaching can be whatever it is that you want to be. There are no you have to meet on a month or yearly basis or whatever. It literally is whatever you want it to be. And I hear the phrase often that Dr. A will say about, you get to plan your life around what matters most. And so like for me, I love to do my planner, and I love to put all my kids' activities in and all my church activities and all of those things, and then goes coaching and client. And but I get to be so present with my kids. I get to be at their soccer games. I get to be the one that actually I really do enjoy being the one that drives them to practice and bring them home, because I get to spend that time with them. And coaching is what makes that possible. And so another benefit is that you don't have to worry about inventory. If you've ever had another business or anything like that, sometimes you've had to stack inventories different places of your house. You guys, 7 kids, I don't have a lot of space to store extra stuff. All of their stuff is taking up all my nooks and crannies. And so I am just so grateful that we do not have to have any sort of inventory. It just makes it so easy to just be a coach. It's super easy to get started. The first step is just to get your coaching kit, and that costs $199. and which is super amazing to be able to start an actual amazing business for such a low cost. And that will cover like websites and some coaching materials and like licensing and like all of that fun stuff. And then you get started. I'm just checking my notes. And then the third thing, the next thing that I want to talk about is where a lot of people have a lot of questions, like what happens after we become a coach, right? We do have a little bit of training that we go through. And one thing that I love about this is just like when you become a client in Optavia, you have that health coach and you have that community of support. When you decide to become a coach, you also have that coaching support team that actually co-coach along with you. They're right there with you when you're doing your training and supporting your first clients. And so you have a business coach and a mentorship team. I know that I am so grateful to have a business coach like Shantelle Flake here. She has helped me transform my business, I'll be honest. I'll give her lots of credit for that. But to be able to work along with other coaches, to be able to learn from each other too. This is not just you sign up and then you're off on your own to learn everything yourself. We get to do this as a team. We get to work at our own pace. I know that I have different seasons where I like to push and I like to grow and I like to expand. And then I have other seasons where I like to just kind of maintain and just take care of my clients and coaches. And I love that because it kind of ebbs and flows with the seasons of life that I go through as well. We have lots of different trainings that you can go to. We have, but all these different things that you can take part in just so that you can help grow your business. One thing that people get a little bit nervous about is not knowing enough. And we've kind of talked a little bit about the trainings. And I heard an analogy earlier today that I thought was kind of mind blowing. Like we can study how to be a parent, you know, and like what's the best way to be a mom. But until you have kids and you actually try things, you don't know what's going to work and what doesn't work. And you have to actually do it with kids, right? You can't just be a mom by yourself. And so coaching is kind of the same way. And what I love about it is that you earn as you learn. So as you're going through the process of your training and learning how to be a coach, you still get to earn money along the way. And so you guys, it's like a win-win-win for everybody. I haven't met anybody that lost anywhere. So you guys, coaching has just been such an amazing part of my life. And with the trilogy, Healthy Finances, if you have any other questions, definitely talk to the person that invited you onto this transformational Zoom, and be open with them and be honest with them and talk about the goals that you have. And it's not just for you, it can be for your family too. And so thank you so much, Shantelle, for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about my story.
Absolutely, Corinne. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that people can relate to your story, and maybe even people have felt the same things or maybe had some questions. So, you know, I hope that you guys enjoyed being on tonight to just hear the inspiring stories, maybe get a few questions answered. And really just make sure that you, like Corinne said, talk to the person who invited you and talk to them about some of those thoughts that you have or any additional questions you have. I remember when I started 8 years ago, I was in a place, maybe some of you can relate, but I was quite unsure. I didn't know if this was the right path for me. It sounded amazing. It sounded like something that I really was passionate about. But like Corinne said, until you're a parent or until you've ever done something, you've never done it. You've never experienced it. You don't know how to do it. And instead of thinking about it for a long time or, you know, going back and forth, I decided to jump in. And I said, you know what? I'll never know till I try. And I put aside a lot of those concepts that I had. Maybe some of you have the same. I thought, what are people going to think? Who am I to tell people what to do with their health? I'm not qualified. I don't have time. I have a lot of little kids. Whatever your concepts are, we all have them, right? I decided to put them aside for a time. And I said, let's just try it. But what if on the flip side, what could I create with my life, and what could coaching bring? And so if you're struggling with that side of things, the what if, the negativity or the concepts, flip that around. What can you create with Optavia? What is it that matters most to you? And what could your life look like with Optavia? And I'm just really glad I jumped in. I think about the difference of my life. I would be surviving if I did not have coaching. Now I get to live I get to thrive. And I am just so grateful for that. So thank you everybody for joining us. We're really glad that you're a part of our community. We'll see you next time.
At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The prior audio contained the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optavia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope those stories inspire you to continue your journey with or to consider joining Optavia. But please note that they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optavia. Additionally, this audio may have contained income or earning representations of some independent Optavia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optavia is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optavia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optavia coaches in the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optavia coaches operating in the US, please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of U.S. coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optavia coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in health, the Optavia team.